Hey guys, welcome to Your House Fitness channel. My name is Sergio. Today we're going to be going over how to do a Pendlay row. Now, before we get into this, what I want you to do is hit the subscribe button, wherever the it is, and we'll get into it. So how to do a Pendlay row. We'll be talking about that. What is a Pendlay row? Form and technique, common mistakes, confusing the Pendlay row for other rows, and starting position, pull position. Now, I'll take it to Christian, and he'll be breaking down the movement. Boom!
Hey guys, Christian here. So we're going to be talking about how to do the Pendlay row. First we're going to be going over some form and technique. I have my barbell already set up over here, and we'll just get into it. So we're going to start off over here. We're going to bring our shins very close to the bar, near the touching. So for this movement, you need a little bit more mobility. So what I'm going to do is bend my knees kind of into like a squat position, right here. I'm going to bring my hips more up, so I'm more parallel with the ground. Like I said, the barbells are touching. The barbell's in line with my shin, actually touching it. I get an overhand grip. I like to do not my thumb tucked in. I just go over with the regular standard grip. I sit my hips back a little bit lower just so I can get a balance so I'm not leaning over the bar. My chest is in line with the bar, right? I'm going to take a big deep breath in. My abdomen is resting on my thighs so I can brace a little bit better. Nice big deep breath in. Pull. Down. Big deep breath in. A little bit of a rhythm going after a couple of reps. It might take you a little bit of time to find that rhythm going, how close the bar should be for you, and just finding that center of balance just so you can get a nice rhythm going. Next up, we're going to be talking about common mistakes. So there are a couple common mistakes that I see. I have my bar with you. So first I'm going to show you guys and get into it. So the first one we're going to be talking about is upper back rounding. So what you don't want is to let the shoulder blades come loose. As soon as the shoulder blades come loose, I get a lot of that upper back rounding. You just want to sit your hips a little bit lower. My elbows coming towards my body, engaging my shoulder blades and my lats, helping correct that mid-back rounding. Another big one is going to be breathing for the next common mistake we're going to be talking about. Because you're in a bent over position, your back is more vulnerable, and breathing and technique, just like deadlifting and the sorts, is going to be really important, creating that intra-abdominal pressure to help secure your back. So when you're in this position, I always like to tell people to make sure that your stomach is touching your upper thighs. The reason being, it helps you get into a better brace and there's more pressure when you're pushing out and you can really feel it. So when you're down at the bottom, before you go into the first rep, nice big deep breath in and then you pull. And then back down again. So you want to make sure that you're keeping that nice big deep breath. You don't want to be breathing to the point where your shoulders are coming up. You want it to be more that you have like a beer gut. You want to be breathing into your belly button. And just nice feeling those stomach expand. Remember, no ribs up, no shoulders up. You don't want to be breathing up high. So the next common mistake I'm going to be talking about when I see people doing lifting is getting the chest too far over the bar. So right now you can see I set my hips back so I'm more in line. What you don't want is your chest over the bar. Because my lower back is going to be compensating a lot here. Like I said, you're already in a vulnerable position. And what you don't want is to make that even harder on your back. Your spinal erectors to support you. You want to keep your disc nice and safe. You want to sit back, not chest over the bar, sit back. And those are going to be a couple of the common mistakes I've been talking about. Next up, we're going to be talking about confusing the Pendlay row for the other rows, like the barbell row, the bent over row, stuff like that. So one of the biggest things that separates the Pendlay row from other rows is the fact that we have a complete dead stop at the bottom. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So we go into the row, we engage the lats, nice big deep breath in, row. And before I move into my next rep, there's a dead stop here. Go again. So what this is ensuring is that I'm not using momentum or what we know is a stretch reflex to go into another rep. I'm going to have to completely reset and completely lift that weight off 100% every single time I do a rep. So I'm getting more out of the Pendlay row compared to other rows where, say, I go bent over row, come up on 2/3 upright position, and row. Stretch reflex, row. There's momentum when it comes behind it. I'm not actually 100% lifting up the weight every single time compared to the Pendlay row where I have that dead stop, no momentum on the way up, and I have to really, really, really focus on engaging every single time. And what's also good about the Pendlay row is the fact that you have the dead stop. You have time to correct your form in between every single rep and ensure that you're performing each and every single rep with 100% and you're giving everything into it compared to the barbell bent over row where eventually people start getting tired, they start coming more into an upright position. And you're not, because of the lever, you're not lifting that weight up with the exact same weight, even though it's the same weight on the bar, because the lever's shorter, I'm not getting full range of motion, and I'm more in an upright position. Compared to the Pendlay row, bent over, every single time lifting that weight up, 100%. Last up, we're going to be talking about just the phases that we're going to be going through. So I'll just break it down into we'll go 2, and then it just cycles into the third one, so I'll explain exactly what I mean by that in a second. So start in the starting phase. So phase 1, shin touching the bar, elbows in, engage the lats. This is going to be our starting phase. You're in a nice position. I can feel my weight sitting more back. My chest is in line with the bar, not hanging over the bar, right? My pull phase, big deep breath in. I bring it just about to my sternum, and then I hold, squeeze my back, and then back down again. So what the eccentric phase, or the lowering phase, I look like, I come back nice and slow down, the weight stops, and that's going to be our last phase, is the dead stop at the bottom. And like I said, you kind of cycle in back into the first phase, because you end it, you end up on the floor, you can reset your form if need be, and then you go back in again, pulling phase, start, pull, start,
And
that's it.
so that's the wrap up for how to do a Pendlay row. Please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and just remember, comment, hate, like, whatever you want.